Yeah, we are about starting now.
Hello, are you traveling to UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or any other country to join family, work, or school? Then I welcome you to New Age Consult, where all tips in writing IELTS are given. We prepare students to pass the IELTS exams in the single sitting. We organize physical and online studies. We are at the junction along Kwashimai, Odoko Road. Call or WhatsApp us to enroll on 024 346 3343. New Age Consult. Cutting Edge Solutions.
Hello there. Are you planning to study abroad? Are you confused with the country selection? Which course to study? Oh, for career counseling. Look no further. Joylink Travel Consult comes your way with the Study Abroad Promo 2023, starting from now to the 15th of December. Among our packages are the Joylink Starter Plan, Joylink Ready to Go, Joylink Exclusive Plan, Joylink Scholars Plan, Joylink Scholars Plus Plan, Joylink Scholar Premium, Joylink Scholar Premium Exclusive. Come, let's assist you to realize your dream to study abroad. Joylink Travel Consult, exploring the world with joy.
Hello, it is the Joylink Edu Abroad Promo 2023-2024. We are back again with our Cooking 5% promo until December 15th. Have you registered with us already? You want to study abroad? Bachelor's, master's, PhD, research, internship, what have you? Contact us from now to December 15th for 5% discount on all our packages. We have 7 different plans to meet your individual needs. Okay. Whatever you want, from counseling on the choice of program, the country of choice where you should apply to, application on your behalf, visa assistance, ticketing, accommodation allocation, and what have you. Just contact us on 024 904 5696 and just mention Joylink Travel Consult Edu Abroad promo and catch your 5%. 024 902 5696. It is Joylink Travel Consult Limited, exploring the world with joy. collaboration between Aqua Aviation and Professional College and Joylink Travel Consult. I guess you can see the flyer around, right? Yes. Do you have aspiration to be in the aviation industry? No, not just a pilot. Do you want to serve as a cabin crew? Do you want to work as a travel consultant? Not only that, a certified one. Do you want to work as an airport operations manager? Do you want to work anywhere as
Yeah,
a
I
handling officer?
now
Anywhere
can
within the aviation space. This is good news for you. You know why? Because this collaboration is bridging the gap between industry and academia. We are going to give you practical training, hands-on deck experience as you join us from January 2024 through December. The training ranges from a year diploma through 2 years, and then also 6 months industry internship attached. You know why you have to join us? If you pay for one course, you get a bonus course in the addition. So you can't pay one tuition, you get 2 certificates when you graduate. Come join us from January 2024 as we take you through experience training that will render you to get job as soon as you complete. Then someone would ask that what's the qualification demanded? You know, you can be an SHS giver, you can be a university graduate, a professional, a professor, professor emeritus. Everyone is qualified to apply for this aviation training. So you can just contact us on 024 902 5696 to make an inquiry. No resource is too poor to apply for an admission. Contact us and pick up your form at 300 cedis as we approach the beginning of the semester. Thank you. It is Joylink Travel Consult. We say exploring the world with joy.
Hello, are you traveling to UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or any other country to join family, work, or school? Then I welcome you to New Age Consult, where all tips in writing Ielts are given. We prepare students to pass the Ielts exams in a single sitting. We organize physical and online studies. We are at Ade Junction, along Kwashimai, Odoko Road. Call or WhatsApp us to enroll on 024 346 3343. New Age Consult, cutting edge solutions.
Hello, it is the Joylink Edu Abroad Promo 2023-2024. We are back again with our Hooping 5% promo until December 15th. Have you registered with us already? Do you want to study abroad? Bachelor's, master's, PhD, research, internship, what have you? You know, contact us from now to December 15th for 5% discount on all our packages. We have 7 different plans to meet your individual needs, whatever you want, from counseling on the choice of program, the country of choice where you should apply to, application on your behalf, visa assistance, ticketing, accommodation allocation, and what have you. Just contact us on 024 904 5696 and just mention Joylink Travel Consult Edu Abroad promo and catch your 5%. 024 902 5696. It is Joylink Travel Consult Limited, exploring the world with joy.
Hello, are Are you traveling to UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or any other country to join family, work, or school? Then I welcome you to New Age Consult, where all tips in writing Ielts are given. We prepare students to pass the Ielts exams in a single sitting. We organize physical and online studies. We are at Ade Junction along Kwashimai, Odoko Road. Call or WhatsApp us to enroll on 024 346 3343. New Age Consult, cutting edge solutions.
Hello, it is the Joy Link Edu Abroad Promo 2023-2024. We are back again with our Cooking 5% promo until December 15th. Have you registered with us already? Do you want to study abroad? Bachelor's, master's, PhD, research, internship, what have you? Contact us from now to December 15th for 5% discount on all our packages. We have 7 different plans to meet your individual needs, whatever you want, from counseling on the choice of program, the country of choice where you should apply to, application on your behalf, visa assistance, ticketing, accommodation allocation, and what have you. Just contact us on 024 904 5696 and just mention Joy Link Travel Consult Edu Abroad promo and catch your 5%. 024 902 5696. It is Joy Link Travel Consult Limited, exploring the world with joy.
Good evening. Let me welcome all of us to this evening's Super Saturday live information session on the IELTS. We do not intend to spend too much time here, but we want to make the time we spend here as productive as possible. Today, we are going to go through a number of things. First of all, we'll take a look at the IELTS, the exam, the various types, what you need to know in making the decision to be part of the IELTS exam. We have a number of people who will be doing presentations on various aspects of the exam to help you understand and also help you navigate while you prepare to travel outside, be it for school, to work, or join family, whatever the reason may be. So once again, I welcome all of you, and I'm glad you have been able to join us. This program is also streaming live on YouTube, the YouTube channel which was provided on the flyer. It is live there. So either you share the Zoom details with friends and family who may be interested, or you can go to the YouTube channel and then share the link with them so that they can also be a part and get all their questions answered. We'll be taking questions from here and also questions from the comment section of YouTube. We'll touch base with all of them and as much as possible ensure that we respond to as many as time will permit. So once again, I welcome you all to this Super Saturday IELTS information session. We are going to do our best to help you make meaning of what the IELTS is about so that you can also make progress in respect of your decision or your desire to travel. Our first presentation today, my colleague in Kumasi will be handling our first presentation. He's the instructor in charge of Power IELTS in Kumasi. He's the man in charge there, and he will be taking us through people, those who know him, they call him Prof, possibly for his the ease with which he handles IELTS matters and all. He will be taking us through a number of things concerning the exam. And then as he goes along, please note down your questions. We will be coming to you after the presentation. There are going to be 2 presentations on the IELTS. After the 2 presentations, we'll open the floor for questions on IELTS. let us understand the ground rules so that we can all work together to make things much simpler. So my colleague in Kumasi, Daniel Obalatio, who is popularly called Prof, will be taking us through these areas: introduction to the IELTS, who qualifies to take the test, requirements for writing IELTS, which countries accept IELTS results, various IELTS tests. We look at how to choose your date and what should determine the choice of your date for your exam. I wouldn't want to waste too much time, or rather belabor the point. I will invite Prof to take over now and then walk us through what IELTS is about and all that we need to know. As I said, he is the instructor in charge of Power IELTS Preparatory Center, which is based in Kumasi, the Ashanti region of Ghana, where he helps a number of people from various regions, not only the Ashanti region, to prepare for their IELTS exam. So, Prof, if you are within hearing range, over to you, sir. For those who need his contact, that is his flyer, Power IELTS Preparatory Center. We'll keep it here while he goes through his presentation. Unless he has some slides to share, then that will override this. Otherwise, he's going to do this. Yes, Prof, over to you.
Thank you, my brother, Jesse Jr. Great. Thank you for this privilege. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. So, as Mr. Stephen Jesse Jr. of New Age Consult has rightly said, I'm going to take you through what the IELTS is all about, who qualifies to take the IELTS test, and the requirements for writing the IELTS, and then which countries accept IELTS, and the various IELTS tests, which we're talking about: academic tests, general tests, UKVI, and why, then life skills test, and then choosing your test dates. All right. So to start with, let me borrow the viewer from Acrobat. He said, viewers, hello viewers. So if you are viewing, you are my viewers. It's real presentation. This is not real news, but real IELTS, and IELTS Super Saturday. And our aim is to let you answer all the questions that run through your mind about the IELTS. So you need to be guided to do the right thing, because to write IELTS, a lot of preparation must go into it, and money as well. Okay, so first of all, when we say IELTS, IELTS is just the short form of what we call, or would they say abbreviation? Yeah, Mr. Jesse, is that abbreviation?
Yes, that's the abbreviated form.
Yes, the abbreviated form of, yes, Mr. Jesse is my English tutor anyway. So he's very good. So I consult him because he is a real Englishman. And then, so let's say it's the International English Language Testing System. It's a system, and it is widely recognized as a reliable means of assessing the language ability of a candidate who need to study or work in a native English speaking country, or in any country where English is going to be the medium of communication. So it is designed to test your how effective you are with regard to writing English language, speaking English language, how fluent are you, and then when it comes to listening to native English speakers. Because if I am a Ghanaian, you are a Ghanaian too. If I'm speaking English, see the way I am speaking, because I take my time. You know, you are used to my accent, and I know your accent too. So it's easy for you to understand and hear every single word that I use. But you know, for the native English speakers like those in Britain, in UK, Australia, they have their own accent that's a bit different from ours, and they don't speak their language by pronouncing words, individual words like single one after another, taking time the way I'm doing. So they have to test whether you can understand them when they are chatting, you can understand them when they are doing any presentation. Should you attend lectures where the lecturer is a native English speaker, will you be able to understand them? Will you get them when they pass on any information? That is the reason. Sometimes people are worried about why is it that we are, for example, in Ghana, and English is our official language. We've been we've had our education done in English from nursery to the university, but they still want us to take this IELTS. When you take IELTS, and as I said, native English speakers begin to speak. You might be even a first degree holder in English language, but you understand that it's not sometimes even easy to understand them or answer some of their questions easily. When you try, you understand why they are. It's really academic, and it will in fact show how your ability to be very academic when you get there. And it's also for those who need to work in various areas, because when you are working there, you will have to be using the English language. You have to pass information on to others and also receive information through the English language. So it's a system. And therefore, as a system, it comprises the reading, writing, listening, and then speaking. Now, we need to know who qualifies to take the test. Everyone who wants to travel to an English-speaking country like UK or anywhere to study, where they are going to use the English language, or anywhere to work, where English language will be necessary, needs to take it. So sometimes people ask me, hey, I want to take IELTS, I'm not a nurse. No, IELTS is not for only nurses. Even before these nurses today got to know about IELTS, students were taking IELTS. When I started teaching IELTS, that was back in 2014. It wasn't nurses who were attending my class. It was rather students, those graduate students, those who were going for either first degree or master's degree, who were signing up for this English language. And it wasn't nurses. It's later on that a few nurses were joining my class, and then somewhere from 2019, 2019 thereabout, or 2016 onwards, nurses began to now know about the opportunities that were available in the UK for them. And my class started growing. With that, the numbers were growing. And that's the reason why I now could move outside Kumasi. I was going to Accra, go to Sunyani, go to even Volta region, and many places, because now nurses, and we have a lot of nurses in our country. And then what even brought me more students was the introduction of the healthcare worker visa, where the nurses are traveling to the UK to work as healthcare assistants. So that's why. So you don't need to be a nurse or so before you take IELTS. Anyone can take IELTS once you want to go for further studies, or you want to go for to work there, and English is required. So find out whether English is a requirement. before you do. Some people think once I do IELTS, I'll be given a scholarship. No, no, no. It may be a requirement for scholarship, free, whatever, where you don't pay. No, but then it is not solely just for to give you scholarship. No. So now let's come to requirements for writing IELTS. If you want to write IELTS, what you need is just your brain, just time to prepare. You need time to prepare for the IELTS. And after, when you want to register or book the test, you need your ID card, national ID card, like Ghana card or passport. And then that's all. These are then your money, the money to pay. Currently, the UKVI is about 3,000, it's 3,400 Ghana cedis, and the standard IELTS is 3,200 cedis. So what you need to take IELTS is your preparation. Once you are prepared financially and you are prepared academically, you prepared by reading, learning, and then know how to handle or tackle each of the 4 modules in the IELTS, then you are prepared to take the IELTS. Now, when it comes to its scope, yes, which countries accept IELTS? Almost now all over the world, any English certificate coming from UK is widely recognized. Yeah, because English is UK and UK is English. So once you are certified by a professional or a body in UK as being good in the English language, and that's all, you are accepted anywhere in the world. So a lot of countries accept IELTS as English proficiency test for people who want admission into their universities and the people who want to work in those countries. So it's accepted across, it's global. That's why it is called international all over the world. IELTS is now recognized very wide now. Now it has taken, it's even covering or overshadowing TOEFL and other languages. You know, in US, for instance, they were used to just the GRE and SAT, but now even when they ask you to produce, GRE, some even require IELTS in addition to the GRE. So IELTS is now very popular, it's everywhere. And that's why you need to take IELTS once you are preparing to study out there or go out there to work. Then let's come to the various IELTS tests. For the various IELTS tests, we have IELTS academic and then IELTS UKVI. Sorry, we have first of all UKVI IELTS and then standard IELTS. We say IELTS or UKVI IELTS. At first, there was nothing like UKVI IELTS. Everything was IELTS. Wherever you want to go, whether you want UK visa or you want visa to Australia, US, anywhere, everything just IELTS. But I think somewhere from, is it 2016 or something, due to this Brexit kind of issue, that's when they introduced the UKVI IELTS, separated from the standard IELTS. So we now have standard IELTS and UKVI IELTS. They are the same in format. The standard IELTS and the UKVI are the same in format, in content, everything, in duration, is the same thing. But the difference is with the certificate. The UKVI certificate has a UKVI code. But the standard IELTS has nothing like a UKVI code for the test report form. So the UKVI is for those who need a UK visa. So you need a UK visa, then you write or you take the UKVI IELTS. And if you want visa to other countries like Australia, Canada, then you have to take the standard IELTS. Now, both have academic and general. Both have academic and general. The academic is the one accepted for for education. If you want to, if you need to prove your proficiency in English in order to be admitted into any university or any high school, what you need to take is the academic. General is not accepted for academic. It's accepted for only those who need to migrate to those countries like UK and Canada, Australia to work. So take note, that's the difference. So if you are going to UK, you need to write the UK VI. All right. Then we also have they have introduced what's called life skills. Life skills test. Okay, when I started teaching IELTS back in 2014, there was no life skills, but now there's life skills, and the life skills is made up of only listening and speaking. And if you compare the listening to the academic, the IELTS listening, you see that it's much easier. Get short recordings. They play and ask you a few questions just to test how proficient, basic. So the certificate you are given for the life skills is basic, not up to the level of the IELTS. And life skills is required of people who have their partners in UK. Life skills is for only UK. It's one of the UK VI, that's UK visa and immigration requirements. So you don't take life skills to Australia or to any other country. So life skills for those who have a partner already in UK, either your wife or your husband. And it is not this healthcare or skilled worker visa they have. Just that. So we have life skills A1, and then we have the B1. The A1 is for partners. Yes, if you have one of your partner in UK, then you are writing the A1 in order to join them. The B1 is for anyone who just want to migrate to UK and do any kind of job that's not very professional, highly professional. Yeah, so it's very basic. Now, when it comes to writing the IELTS, if you want to take the IELTS and you go to the British Council website to book the test, you will realize that they have dates throughout the year. From even before December, they had released the dates for December. All through the year, you see January, February, and sometimes they have about 2 slots or 3 for each month. So as I speak with you now, if you look at the centers are Kumasi and Accra. So you see that you choose Kumasi to write it in Kumasi or Accra. And sometimes Tamale, they open Tamale. These days, Takrady is one of has some of the centers, but most often the Kumasi and Accra one are very regular. There are times you don't get slots in Takrady and Tamale. So if you want to you just go to their website, you go through the available test dates and choose the one you prefer, the one that's convenient for your purpose. And so if you want to register, as I said earlier, all you need is just your ID card, either Ghana card or passport, an active email, yes, email, and then you should know the process. You should know the process. Some people don't do. Now, note that we have the computer-based, the computer-delivered tests, and then the paper-based tests. Sometimes some students who don't know the difference will go and choose the computer-delivered test. Meanwhile, they are very slow when they're not very efficient in the use of the computer. They are not very much computer literate, and then they find themselves in trouble before they know what's happening. They say stop work, and they haven't been able to choose a single answer. So if you don't know, please find out. That's why we are there for you. That's why this is what we've been doing. I'm here. My friend Jesse is also around. So if you want to take IELTS and you don't know more about how to book the test, you should see a professional, an expert in that to guide you, and then you do your choosing. I think basically this is what the IELTS is all about. So I will like to end here and open the floor for 1 or 2 questions. So back to you, Mr. Jesse Jr. Stephen.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof, for that presentation. We will not be taking any questions for now. Let me add the bit of the presentation I'll be doing to it, and then we can take questions that border on Ielts completely altogether. So please keep your questions on standby. We'll be taking them soon, or we'll be calling for them soon so that we can go through. Okay, so I'll be taking us through the test itself. There are 4 tests in the Ielts. I'll be taking you through what they are and some of the basics you need to know. My name is Stephen Jesse Jr. I run the New Age Consult Ielts Preparatory Center in Accra. On your screen is our flyer together with a portion of the slideshow. In case you want to reach out to us, you're free to take note of the contact numbers, and then you get in touch as and when you wish. We'll help you to prepare so that you can perform and make it once and for all so that you move on to greater and better things. Now, the 4 Ielts tests are the listening test, speaking test, reading, and writing. These are the 4 Ielts tests. I am going to describe these in the language of WAEC or SSC subjects for all of us to understand. The listening test is what in SSC they call oral English. An audio is going to be played. You have a set of questions be in front of you. You listen to the audio, follow the instructions, and you answer the questions as the audio gets played. The speaking test, that one is going to be a one-on-one session with you and an examiner. The person will ask you questions. Now, bear this in mind. Sometimes you can have the examiner physically present. Other times, the person will be on video conferencing, talking to you. And they'll be asking you questions. The question can come from any and every area. So you need to be widely read so that you can prepare and prepare well. We have the reading test. Reading test in SSC language, we call it English comprehension. You'll be given a passage and some questions attached to it. We'll look at it in a bit of a detail as we move on. Then we have the writing, English language, WAEC language, they may want to call it English composition, where you have lecture writing, essays, and the rest. That is the writing test. Okay, now the listening test. The listening test takes 30 minutes. That's the duration, 30 minutes. You are answering 40 questions. I said the listening test is what is called oral English in SSC language. It's an audio exam with enhanced listening devices. They will give you headphones to wear so that you can at least hear it clearly. That is the best they can do for you. If there are hearing challenges, then you may want to deal with it before you get to the exam hall. And the focus area, where can questions be set from? It could be anything. They can ask questions about you, your interests, your favorite food, your family, your life ambitions, among other things. So many areas. And the marking and assessment. 1 mark is awarded for each correct answer in the 40-item test. So if you score all answers, you are going to get 40 out of 40. And then in the Ielts, there is what they call band scale or band score. They convert whatever you got out of 40 into a 9-band scale or a 9-band score. We will take time towards the end of the presentation. I'll demonstrate to you what marks you will get and the band score that comes with it as far as Ielts calculations are concerned. The speaking tests. Now, it is the same for both the academic and general exam takers. Most of the time, speaking test, if you like, you can do it on the same day you are writing, you are doing the writing, listening, and reading. Now, bear in mind, Ielts, writing, listening, and reading mostly are a single paper. It is the speaking test that sometimes, if you want to choose a different date for it. The test lasts for something between 11 to 14 minutes. That is, the examiner and you, they'll be asking you questions between 11 to 14 minutes. And the examiner can be virtual or physically present. That is, the person could be there in your immediate physical presence, or they could be on a video conferencing facility that has been set up, and they'll ask you questions. When you talk back, they will hear. When they talk to you, you will also hear. So prepare for any of those scenarios. You want to do a human one-on-one something, but when you go into the video, it shouldn't create any panic or any kind of discomfort. It's still the same human being you are engaging with. The reading test, which I call the English comprehension in WAEC or SSC language, it takes 60 minutes and the questions are 40. Now, bear this in mind. Those 40 questions, you are going to answer 40 questions based on 3 different passages. So maybe question 1 will have about 12 questions, and passage 1 will have about 12 questions under it. Passage 2 may have 10, and then the remaining. All together, there will be 40 questions. And you are expected to do that in 60 minutes. When you come to us to help you prepare, we are going to teach you the strategy to maximize the time. How to maximize the time to be able to finish 3 different passages, all aggregating 40 questions in 60 minutes. Time can be funny in the example. Sometimes 2 hours in the example looks like 30 minutes. We'll show you some of the tested secrets that help people to be able to make good use of the time without being overtaken by events. And then the writing test. It's an hour test, 1 hour. And there are 2 different tasks to showcase your written skills with specific word count for each. Now, the writing test, the first part, normally there's a different type of test for the general test takers and a different one for also the academic test takers. The academic test takers, normally they are giving something like a graphical representation or an illustration for them to talk about it, describe it, look at the key features among other things. And then for the general, they'll be doing some writing, sometimes some essay, some letter. It depends on what Ielts decides to bring. So, but in all that, bear in mind that this is the assessment criteria for the writing test. Your task achievement, number 1. Whether you covered all points in the question and you wrote the required number of words, fluency and coherence, does your writing flow well? Is it easy to understand? Let me tell you something. Ielts is an English language test. So the quality of your English is number 1, is the most important requirement you need to be able to pass. It is very important. Your lexical resource, the use of vocabulary and spellings. Did you use them well? Were the context in which you use them appropriate? Grammatical range and accuracy. Are you using the correct tenses and a variety of sentences? All these are going to be checked to ensure that you really qualify and are worthy of being given a certain score in the Ielts exam. So you need to build yourself in your language, ensure that you speak and speak well, which is very important, and also make reading a part of you, irrespective of your professional area or your chosen field. Now let's look at how the band scores are calculated. The band scores, I mentioned that earlier. The questions are 40. You are marked over 40, but then the 40, whatever mark you get over 40 is reduced to a 9 band score or a 9 scale band score. Now look at it. If you get something between 18 to 22 out of 40, your band is 5.5. 23 to 25 is 6.0. 26 to 29, 6.5. 30 to 31, 7.0. 32 to 34, 7.5. 35 to 36, 8.0. 37 to 38, 8.5. 34 to 39 to 40, you get band score 9. That is 9 out of 9, which represents excellence. This is how your band score is calculated. Now, bear in mind, every single test, the reading, listening, speaking, and writing, each of them is scored over 9. If you want a decent overall band score, your individual band scores must be good. For instance, if you have 6, 7, 7.5, and 8, you are likely to get a band score of 7 or 7.5 overall. So how you maximize the opportunity given by the individual papers, that is the 4 areas, it will determine what your overall band score is. It is the same like the senior secondary school language. What grades you build in individual subjects help you to get a more decent aggregate. The overall band score is the equivalent of an aggregate, but in British Council and Ielts language, the aggregate, which is the WAEC language in senior secondary school, they call it the overall band score. So please bear it in mind that you need to work on attaining decent scores in the individual papers so that your overall band score will also come out well and fine. That way, whatever you want to use the results for, it will be easier. You will not be thinking of a rewrite. You will not be feeling disappointed or whatever there may be. Okay, so now we have the time for questions on the Ielts from what Prof presented and what I have just gone through. If you have any questions, please, you can raise a digital hand up. We'll take a look at, we'll give you the opportunity, and please be sure there is less noise in your background so that we don't have too much distraction coming in. Those of you on YouTube, please drop your questions in the comments. We'll be reading them from here. So those of you on YouTube, drop your questions in the comments. We'll be reading them from here. If there's any question, this is the opportunity. On Ielts, afterwards, we are going into the scholarship and job opportunities. We have people online, experts and, tested professionals online who will be giving you tidbits on job opportunities abroad, what you need to do to get what, and all that, scholarships among others. May we have your questions on Ielts, if there are any questions? Yes. You can also, if you are on Zoom, you can type in the message box. If we see it, we'll read it for you. On YouTube, please type it in your chat, and then we'll have a look at it for you. Question time, please. Let's be quick about it. We don't intend to waste too much time so that we can go and attend to other commitments before the day dies out completely. Question time. Right. While we wait, maybe we'll have to take the questions at the very end of this whole session. Keep preparing your questions and putting them together. I want to invite the next speaker to come in and address us. The next speaker is the CEO of E2S Consult. He's a travel and business consultant. Currently, he's based in the Ashanti region. He has over 17 years of experience in the travel industry. And for him, his philosophy is simple: redefining opportunities. He's granted a number of opportunities to people of various walks and various professional persuasions to be able to also maximize the opportunities out there. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege at this point to welcome my senior colleague, Mr. Daniel Osei-Tutu of E2S Consult to take over. Over to you, sir, and welcome.
Yeah. Hello, good evening, and I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity, Stephen, Daniel, and then Ernesto, and all the rest. Yes, so as you said, I'm Daniel Osei-Tutu, CEO of E2S Consult, and then I think they've done a yeoman job to the Ielts introduction, which is excellent, and you've done well. So I'll just be brief. I'll be speaking on about UK and then the Australia job opportunities. I'll just give some say tidbits or some in-depth, and then probably we can pick it from there because of time constraints. So as they've said, with the Ielts, it's for study, it's for work, and it's for travel. So in any way, you will still need Ielts, even with the opportunities I'm going to share. So I will briefly talk about the UK, and then I will jump to Australia, and then we can pick it from there. Yeah. So with the UK, I think UK work visa, the most popular one is the health and care worker visa, which a lot of people have come to know. But although the health and care worker visa is very popular, there are a host of them. So I'll generally talk about the skilled worker visa. And strangely, from IT to pharmacists to architects to even most PhD holders even qualify for skilled worker visa in the UK. And most PhD holders doesn't even need a job offer. So there's a lot, but all of them will need Ielts. So and we have the global talent skill visa. We have even status visa. If you have an idea that you think is very interesting, it shouldn't be a weird idea or a new idea, but it can be, it can just be a polished or an updated business idea that already exists that you think can benefit the UK economy. Once you have that idea, we call them endorsing bodies. They are endorsing bodies that you can approach and let them know that I have this idea. Maybe I want to go into logistics, and then
Please, your audio went off. Your audio is off, please.
Yeah, so sorry about that. I needed to sort some kids out. They were trying to. Sorry about that. I just ran. Yeah. So there are, as I was saying, there are even this. If you just have an idea, there's endorsing bodies that they have been mandated to look at your idea. Within 4 weeks, they can help you polish your idea. And if you think it's okay, they'll give you an endorsement letter. You still need an Ielts, and of that, you can apply for your startup visa, which there are a lot of, which is also very, but that one a lot goes in because you must be very innovative. You must be able to look at the UK economy, look at where a lot of people have done it. UK economy, what can you add to the economy? And I say it shouldn't be rocket science. It can be basic and simple things. You approach any endorsing body that the government have mandated, they'll give you. And then, so that's it, by the way. So the skilled worker visa, I'll just briefly go through it. It goes beyond the healthcare worker visa. I think currently we have about 40 occupations that qualify for skilled worker visas. And PhD holders, so not all of them need job offers. Yes. So the skill offer is basically for UK to meet their labor shortages. After COVID, that others are struggling and complaining and blaming COVID. They too, after COVID, they've experienced economic growth, and then there's labor shortage, and they really need workforce, skilled labor to prop up their economy. So that's why they've introduced this skilled worker visa. There's no age limit. You can send alongside your dependents. Normally, it's from 3 to 5 years. After that, you can extend your visa or apply for a resident permit visa. And basically, the visa fees around this is £624 to £1,442. And most employers think that they will sponsor you. That is, so you don't even need to show any bank statement. But if the employer didn't tick the sponsorship box, then as the main applicant, you need to show 1,200, let's say £300. Your spouse, you need to show just £285. Your child, £315. Any additional charge, £200. So it's basically quite okay. And then what are the documents or what things you need to apply for this skilled worker visa? First, you need a certificate of sponsorship. That is, there must be an employer who is willing to employ you. That's where the healthcare has become very popular, because the care industry in the UK, they are struggling. They are struggling to really get staff. So they are really aggressive out there recruiting. But unfortunately, there are others who doesn't have a job, who have just registered care companies because this thing is in high demand. Just recruit people from Africa, dump them there. There's no work for them to do. But apart from that, quite majority of them have the jobs. So you need a certificate of sponsorship from your employer. Even teachers have been added to it. That is, those in the science area, physics, chemistry, biology. And interestingly, those who have physics, the UK government will pay you £10,000 to settle in the UK. It's quite very interesting. But apart from the certificate of sponsorship, you need a CELT English approved test. That's where Ielts comes in. You need to show that you've passed the Ielts. And depending on your profession, some of them, if you get band 4, like when it comes most skilled worker visa, when you get band 4 across all the bands, that's okay. But when there are certain areas that you need to get 6, others to 7. So it depends on the industry that you're going to use it for. You need your tuberculosis test certificate, your police report, your original passport. So the most important thing is the job offer. That is where I've talked about the care worker visa and the other types of visas, other types of jobs that people are ignoring. But you can just Google online, shortage occupation in the occupation list in the UK, and you get that. So basically, that is what I can say about the skilled worker visa to the UK. There are labor shortage. They are looking for people to work across various sectors. Healthcare is the most popular, but the IT is there, teachers is there, PhD holders, depending on your field, you can easily settle in. And those who have ideas, you don't have money, but you have idea, you think you can do a startup, the UK is welcoming. Even as of last year, you needed to show £50,000 as a startup company, but now they've canceled that. You don't need to show any money. You just need to show that you have the idea. And then one good thing about this is that the condition is that your idea must be able to employ 2 to 3 people within your first 3 years of operation. And you can do the startup and still take additional job as you build up your company. And there are several of the visas. And strangely, this startup visa, I think last year, it was only one person who applied from Ghana also. It's very funny. There are a lot of other visas that people don't even, which is quite also easy and simple. So that is about the UK. And I'll quickly touch on Australia too. Australia has one of the fantastic visa regime. I think the UK is even copying Australian skilled worker visa, but Australia, I think, is excellent. With Australia, you don't need a job offer. No, you don't need a job offer. They have about 250 listed. They have about, okay, they have this visa, the most popular one, subclass 189, which is a skilled worker visa. And of that, they have about 250 occupations on it. And then if your occupation on it, from my head, when it comes to the business people, I think accountants are on it. We have the engineers on it, all the various types of the engineers, we have it on it. We have the tradespeople, the electrician, the plumbers, the cookers, the medical field too. We have the nurses, the doctors, the stenographers, all of them. And when it comes to the teaching too, we have the teachers there. And then what again? a Greek scientist, a whole lot of about 250. So if you are on the list, there are two ways to get the skilled worker visa. If you're on the list, that's your occupation is on the list. You have to do assessment. You do an academic assessment, you do work experience assessment. And of the academic assessment, if you say you're an accountant, then you need to show that you have a degree in accounting. I'm just using that for the example. Or if you say you're an electrical engineer, you need to show that you have a degree in electrical engineer, and then you must have passed Ielts. So you have your Ielts certificate. When it comes to engineers, you need to get band 6. When it comes to teachers, they have one of the highest requirements. You need to get writing, you get band 7 in writing. In reading, you need to get 7, but speaking, you need to get 8. Listening, you need to get 8. Engineers, 6, 5 is okay. When it comes to nurses, you need to get 7 throughout. It depends. So those who deals a lot of the metals and materials, they don't need much score. But those who deal with people, they need a higher score. So your Ielts certificate together with your educational qualification, you send it to, if you're an accountant, you send to Accountants Australia, they will do an assessment. Of course, you pay a small fee. Within 2-3 weeks, it's done. And then you do a work experience. You say you have 3 years work experience. You need to show proof of your work experience. The same people does the work experience. If your assessment is successful, so within 3 to 6 weeks, they can finish the assessment. So once you've successful with this assessment, you just contact Australia Immigration and let them know that you've passed the assessment. And then every 2 weeks, they issue invitation letters. I think about 2,400 every 2 weeks. So once you have, you are in, you call it expression of interest. Once it's in, then if your letter comes, you are good to go. You just apply for your visa. You're on your way to Australia. And there they will give you 5 years work permit. And afterwards, you qualify for Australian citizenship. And it covers your family too. And we have a lot of clients, a lot of people who have gone through that route. Most people are not taking advantage of that because of Ielts. And it's very strange. We want to travel, but we don't want to take Ielts. So basically, that is one thing about the Australian, that's a subclass 189. And they also have regional visas where each region or province in Australia also have specific people that they need for specific roles. You can also apply through that. And most of them, you don't need job offer. You just have to do your assessments. And once you've gone through, you inform the immigration, you receive your invitation letter, you apply for a visa, you're on your way to Australia. So I will just end my presentation here. If there are questions, and then probably I'll stay back and then take them. Thank you very much. Audio is off. Steven, you're off. Your audio is off. Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry, thank you very much, Mr. Seitutu. We are grateful for this insightful presentation, quite brief but loaded. I'm sure the questions will be coming in, but we want to take the other side of the presentation, that is the final aspect of the presentation. And then afterwards, we are going to have a question and answer time. The final presenter, who is going to talk to us today about also scholarship opportunities and job opportunities beyond the areas Mr. Seitutu has spoken about. Mr. Seitutu spoke about the UK and Australia. This person is going to address us concerning other parts of the world. She is multilingual. She speaks English, French, and Spanish. Wow. And she's a dynamic international travel and tourism consultant with IATA Canada, with years experience in fast-growing travel and tourism industry. I wouldn't want to say too much. She is the managing director of Joylink Travel Consults Limited. It's my pleasure this time to hand over the microphone to Mrs. Abigail Osei Owusu, Managing Director, Joylink Travel Consults, to take up the next presentation on this Ielts Super Saturday. Abigail, if you're here, it's your turn.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, that's great. Very well done to all presenters. In fact, this has been very deep. We are all learning, and I'm happy to join you this evening. So quickly, without wasting much time, I would also look at, since Mr. Osei Tutu has covered the area of work opportunities, that's work abroad, I'll also quickly look at education side. So basically, most people anticipate to further the education in the country and outside the country. So where does the Ielts comes in? You know, it is a very good platform, like you have explained earlier, that we have the general aspect, we have the academic, and then we have one for immigration. You know, it's very important that students or people anticipating to further the education take it very seriously, because it adds up to your value, and it also makes you competitive or gives you competitive advantage when you are applying for schools, especially if you are looking for some sort of funding. So is it possible to have funding? Yes. Let me quickly share just a few slides that will take you through the process involved. Where do you start from? You know, where do you start? Can you please enable me share my screen?
Okay, I'll make you an admin.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you are on.
All right, thank you. Can we all see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So quickly, what is scholarship? Or when we talk about funding, what is scholarship and then funding? So scholarship, in a simple term, means any form of funding that is able to reduce or, take off your tuition. That's when it comes to academic tuition or project or research cost. So there are a lot of opportunities that in the form of funding or financial merit that is able to take care of your financial burden when it comes to studying abroad. So that is scholarship. And it is awarded in different forms. We have mutual funds are rewarded or awarded as a result of good grades. You know, mostly these are merit-based scholarships. It is per your academic performances or your performance in a specific field. Some could be very good athletes, very good orators, very good writers, and as a result of that, they are nominated for some sort of funding to further the education. So we have grants, and then we have offers in the form of graduate assistantship, those who want to further the education, the master's level, the PhD level. We have graduate assistantship where you are engaged on campus, either for research-based or to serve in any department as a student whilst you study. So usually the graduate assistantship, the teaching assistantship, they are based on your work that you'll be doing on campus. So for example, they will give you an offer to study in, let's say, master's in theology, and then you would also be engaged on campus 20 hours. That's your legal allowed time as a student to work, 20 or 10 hours to also be working in the faculty or with a specific department. So those are graduate assistantship and then teaching assistantship. Is anyone talking, please?
Please go ahead. We'll mute everybody. So.
All right, thank you. Yeah. So that is the graduate and then the teaching assistantship part. So that I would say that is for free, but not really for free. So usually, just to give you a background, students, most of the countries now even Russia, I learned Russia, and then China, they are getting to implement these laws that you can work at a restricted number of hours per week. So most often within 20 hours per week, 20 to 24 hours, depending on the country per week as a student, you can legally work with your study permit or study visa. So if you are engaged on a graduate assistantship or teaching assistantship or research assistantship, it means that your allowed legal period of engagement on campus, they are going to engage you in the faculty and then take care of your tuition, part of your tuition, your living expenses, and with some stipend, depending on the difference. So that's a form of scholarship. And we have grants that are given for projects, you know, for embarking on some research. We have entrance scholarship that is usually debited for bursary cost and then other stuff. So these are all beautiful ways that scholarships can be expressed or scholarship can be gotten. So if you are looking at scholarship, you cannot do away with timelines, actually. So if you are looking at scholarship, there are timelines which goes directly with the institution admission timeline. So usually you have the winter intake, usually from December through February. We have fall, that's August, October, depending on the country. We have the spring and the summer, that's from January to May. So if you are looking at targeting a specific program abroad, say in US, and then you are looking at gaining some sort of funding or scholarship, then I would advise you to know which intake you are targeting. Most often, a lot of funding or scholarship opportunities are made available for the major or the main academic intake period, which is usually the fall, that's August through October, depending on the country. Say if you are looking at Europe, most often it is in October, Germany and October, that's the fall intake. And then we have August, September, Canada, US, depending on the country. So that's the major intake period. The winter and then the spring and the summer, usually they admit to some programs that are not able to fill up during the previous fall or the normal intake, or some semesters that we can still admit people into and they'll be able to catch up from the, the previous intake period. So that is it for the background. So you have to be able to target the intake period and then you know the deadlines. That is one thing you should all know, the deadlines. So usually if you are looking at the winter, the summer, and then the spring, check out with your school, depending on the country. But usually this is the application period. That is right from September through October, November, December, early January. Even January, you may run at a loss because by that time, most of the schools have filled their position with most of the scholarship for even the fall intake. So I will entreat every one of you to start very early. Very, very, if you need assistance, you can contact any of us as we'll be able to take you through the procedure. So there are country-specific admission requirements. You cannot get scholarship independent of your admission. Let me repeat that again. So for example, someone will say, hey, congratulations, glory be to God. I've been given $10,000 scholarship. For what? Maybe I'll go to school next year. So I've been given, no, it doesn't work that way. So usually your scholarship is in direct relative or correlation to the admission that you are seeking for or the program entry that you are anticipating to enter. So that is why most often it is expedient that you check with the timelines of the admission so that you can secure admission for funding. There are a few times that there are some universities that, because of international bodies, country-specific agreements, bilateral agreements, and then all that, they can have external form of funding aside departmental or institution-based scholarship. So most often you have to be given or secure admission into a specific program to be considered for an offer. That is the point. So if you are given a scholarship, it should be for a specific institution. If it is an external funding like bilateral scholarship and your country is still funding, still they will need proof that you've been able to secure what? Admission to study. So that is one thing you should take note of. Okay, so every country has their own requirements for admission to various programs and departments. So let's categorize them into, usually I categorize them into three from my experience, looking at how closely they are related in terms of requirements. I look at the Western I've included Australia, Canada, and then the US. But let's look at the US and the Canada. They have very closely related admission requirements when it comes to admission intakes and then also scholarship-based intakes. And then when it comes to Europe too, they have similar requirements. Asia have similar requirements. So you should be able to look at the various requirements. When the Western side, you should have your transcript available from your school, official transcript, not the one that you see on your student portal, they just print it for them. No, that is not what we are looking at. They need official. You go to your administration or your department, then you ask for your transcript. Then you also request for English proficiency exams letter. In this case, since we've been introduced to this super IELTS preparation, the IELTS supersedes the letter from your institution. Why? Because it is not all the universities or the institutions that accept English proficiency letter from your school. Instead, they want to see a very proficient exam that is administered by international bodies like the IELTS or the TOEFL. So like they explained earlier, I will entreat all of you to take that. But if you don't have that yet, yes, you can still request for your letter of proficiency from school. You can get some recommendation letters available, or lecturers or faculty members, whoever you would like to be a recommender for your application. When you look at Europe too, that's Germany. If you are looking at graduate studies, that is from master's level, they still look for and care for your SHS or WASI certificate. Sometimes you request for that, me, I didn't pass, so why do you need SHS? I'm going to do master's. Yes, they still need your SHS or WASI certificate, so don't throw it away even if you failed. Yes, you should have it available. Why? They consider the WASI or the SHS certificate as what they call the university entrance qualification. They believe that before you were admitted into your degree program, you were admitted based on a certain result. You were admitted based on a certain result, and that is your SSC, WASI, or whichever secondary level qualification. That's tertiary qualification, what do you call it? Technical qualification or what have you. So you have to get that ready. If you are looking at Australia, sometimes I call them very stubborn because they are particular with documentation. You cannot go away without them. That's why most applications are done through agencies like us, agencies like companies. You cannot do it directly with the school because they have strict requirements that they adhere to. The GTE requirements, you know, it is very important. So they will look at your proof of work. For example, if you have up to 6 months study gap, that is the time that you graduated from your last education or your last program till present. If you have up to 6 months study gap, they need what they call evidence to prove that. Sometimes they may admit on your resume, an official CV or your resume that you have written and signed, that covers date to date, every order in chronological order that you have been engaged in so and so from school. But most of the times for competitive programs, it is not sufficient. They still need proof of employment, like your bank statement, you know, pay stubs or introduction letter, recommendation letter from your what do you call it, for your workplace. So take note of that if you are considering Australia too. If you are considering China, Russia, sometimes Japan, India, you should be physically fit. They are very particular with physical examination, that is medicals. They don't joke with it. China, for instance, after taking it here, getting your admission passing, they do not trust us so much enough that when you get to even China, they will still subject you through their medical screening from their hospital. There has been instance like that there was a student who passed through all the processes, passed and all that, go to China on a full scholarship with some stipends. They brought him back, unfortunately, because he failed the medicals there. And it was very surprising because he passed it right here in Ghana. So if you are looking at all these stuff, please take good care of yourself and know that sometimes, depending on the scholarship or the country you're looking at, you need to be physically fit. And then you should also look at what grades. You know, no grade is too poor to achieve your dream. Let me say this again. No grade is too poor, okay, to achieve your academic dream. Hello, before I continue in a few minutes, can I be heard before I proceed? Just to make sure I'm not talking.
Yes, Yes, you're loud and clear.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. So, like I mentioned, you know, the requirement in terms of your academic performance is very, very, very important. So, for example, if you are looking at, like I've categorized them into Western, the Europe, and then the Asia. If you are looking at the Western side, merit-based scholarships are competitive, meaning scholarships basically based on your performance. You know, every country have their own grading scale. For example, even within Ghana, we have grading scale based on the scale of 4 for UCC and other universities, and we have grade of 5 for other universities too. You know, so every country have their own grading scale. So you might have, for example, what do you call it, 3.6 on the scale of 4 from UCC, which is first class. Congratulations. Very good score, competitive, as you'll be celebrated and you'll be graded during your graduation. Yes, but let me tell you that if we put the same 3.6 on the Bavaria or the German system, you may get around 1.7. 1.7, grade 1.7, you know, it doesn't mean that you've not done well. Yes, their grade, the lower you have, the higher your performance. That is how their system is. So this is just to tell you that their dynamics you should be able to see. So for example, I have students who contact, oh, madam, I saw this admission or requirements, this program scholarship. They said, I need just 2.2. Madam, can you imagine 2.2? And they are so excited that they had 3 points, maybe they had 2.8 in their what do you call it, transcript, their final CGPA, and they are so excited that they meet their requirement in Germany because it's 2.2 they are looking at. But trust me, the 2.2 they are looking at, though you had 2.8 in Germany or some part of Europe is a total fail. You cannot get an admission. That's on their system. Yes, so from their system, the lower your mark. So if they put the 2.8 you have in on their scale, let me show you a typical calculation. So this is how we do the calculation at the back door. You know, this is the system, they are scaling system. So if you are looking at Europe, you put your maximum marks. That is the maximum marks that is on your scale. If it is on a scale of 1 to 4, it means you put the 4 minus the average, what you had. So if you had 2.8, 4.0 minus 2.8 divided by 4.0 minus the minimum. The minimum is not the 1 or the 0, it's the minimum that is considered passed in your university. And that is usually 1.9, I guess, or 1.5, depending on the school. So you put the 1.5 here times 3 plus 1. So 2.8 should be getting you something around maybe 2.5, which is not so much of a good score in Germany, you know, to secure you the exam. That is why most people have refusals here and there, and then they write to the admission board, they are qualified, and then they get back to them, unfortunately. So you have to put into consideration all these stuff. Because of time, I cannot do an example for you. I plan to do an example for you, but I cannot work on that. So let's move on. And also, if you are looking at the, what do you call, the proficiency side, it has already been tackled. So just pay heed to the Ielts if you are to certify your English proficiency. Please consider that. It is very much, I recommend that. You know, I've even indicated it's a highly recommended. If you are looking at scholarship, competitive one in terms of graduate work, research work, please, then your GRE or your GMAT will be relevant, especially if you are looking at business-related programs. There are some exceptions to what do you call it, engineering-based programs that they do not really fancy this GMAT or GRE test. They believe that your performances with the work experience and your research that you have done should be able to satisfy their requirement. So please, you can be considering that also. So when it comes to, like I said, there are some universities, they have strict language requirements. So please, learn ahead of time. And like they said, I'm sure you were given the timeline. If you want to be proficient enough, it doesn't take just 1 week. Oh, me, I speak English and I slang and all that. Yes, that's good enough, but it may not be so much relevant when you are writing your Ielts. So you should be able to learn the procedure, give yourself time, and then write the exams. Personally, I've taken some of these exams, and then I know how it is. You know, even after your preparation, you need thorough preparation to be able and learn the rules of the game so that you'll be on top of it. You know, it's very, very, very important. And then also you should look at one integral, very, very, very cogent aspect of your application. If you are looking for scholarship, funding, or even admission, is your statement of purpose or your academic, statement of purpose. Dear ones, you can have super marks in Ielts, 9.0, whatever. You can have good grade with a GRE, you have good percentile, GMAT, very good percentile. But trust me, if your statement of purpose is stolen, you have no statement of purpose, then please forget about your admission. It will be difficult for you. It is very important that you're able to capture captivating experiences that you have gained, your academic motivation, that will be able to do what? Tell them that you're a good fit for the program. Your motivation for your application. Don't copy and cut without any thorough editing. You know, learn to have yours in a way that is what? Have yours that is clear of what? Plagiarism or plagiarism, so that you will not be caught at an offense, because the highest form of academic offense. So please, you can hire an assistant. Joylink Travel Consult, we do that. We write academic statement of purpose, research statement, and all that, a fee. You can contact, I know our consultants here also help with that. Get in touch and then get assistants, professional assistants to proofread and to guide you through step by step so that you can write something compelling. So take note of your statement of purpose. Your passport. There are people, I remember just last month, one of my students who from Togo, we have students, we have clients from all over, from Togo. So his passport, in fact, after getting admission and then visa process going through, unfortunately, due to oversight or let's say negligence, we're not able to identify that his passport was expiring in less than 6 months. You know, so when you come and you're asking, a valid passport is one that is valid for at least 6 months from the time of your travel. So it means that though he's been called for his visa, he could not go with it. You know, you have to apply for a new passport. So make sure that you've renewed your passport or you've applied for a passport that is valid for the period of your application. Sometimes we have to write to some schools just to beg that they admit on the expired passport when they give admission. By that time, the person's passport to be renewed. But it's not always the case, you know. So after you've had your admission, you've had your preparation with your documents, you've gotten some sort of funding or not, you should be looking at your visa side. Now, visa is a big deal. You know, sometimes you see people flaunting papers on social media. Oh, do it yourself, it's easy. Oh yeah, it's easy. But sometimes you need professional guidance. Not even sometimes, almost always. Because there are petty mistakes that can render your application, or prove your application futile. Wasted your time, resources, you know, and I don't think any of us would want to have that experience. So please, you make sure that you prepare way ahead of time. If you're looking at US and you are looking at studying next year, by now you should have booked for your appointment. Because appointment date is somewhere next year, August, thereabouts in Ghana. You know, that is why students are going outside the country to seek for appointment date. So please, in the nutshell, prepare ahead of time. Start early. Start early so that you'll be able to do what? To get a date, an appropriate date that you don't have to be fighting. I remember a typical example, one of my students, I was fighting for a deferral for, you know, because he got his admission came very late. So we couldn't secure an I-20 for him. We have to be delayed over 2 months from the faculty. It's a big school, you know, before eventually just yesterday, they approved the deferral form. Just think about that. So imagine if we had started earlier and had enough time on our side, we would have conquered all these barriers. So please look at that now. Germany, most of the countries, you hardly get date. Consider the timelines and work out. Finally, I would say that aside all that, one difficulty that students encounter after going through all this is accommodation. You've gotten your admission, your scholarship, yes, that's good, your job. You should be looking at accommodation too, so that you will not be stranded or frustrated. During academic peak season, especially the fall intake, accommodation is hard to find. So you should make sure that you're able to liaise with the international office or through your agency to support you, that you'll be able to secure one that is moderate enough for you to afford before you travel. And then the flight tickets, very integral. You know, now if you're looking at Canada, you'll be looking at more than 2,000 Canadian dollars a student for one way. So if you are strategic enough to book at a strategic time, you'll be able to beat down cost of it. Most of the scholarship do not include funding for tickets. There are a few that they sponsor tickets, yes, but most of it don't even cover that. So it means that you should be prepared ahead of time, have idea of it, so that you are preparing, you will not be left out. Yeah, so this is just a testimonial, but it's a video on that. I will not show it because of time. So your document checklist in the nutshell, you are looking at your certificate, your transcript, your CV, your proficiency letter or exams, your passport biodata page, recommendation letters, sample writings, especially, let me hammer this, there are some programs that if you are reading, communication studies, journalism, and those reading related subjects, they request for sample writings. You should be able to have displayed your work proficiency through maybe publications or your articles that you've been writing or your timelines for review before you be given admission. SOPs, also something you should consider. So quickly, we have a pool that Joylin Scholars Pool that we train people who have vision or anticipate to study abroad on some sort of funding. We call it the Joylin Scholars Pool Plus. You can be admitted on it. We do videos to train you as and when you should prepare and assist you with your application. You can contact us anytime after this program during working period, and then you'll be guided through the registration process if you're interested. So thank you. I would like to end my presentation here. This is a testimony of someone with a scholarship, one of our students, and then all that. So there are a lot to show, but time will not permit me. So I'll end here. Thank you very much for your audience. And like it was said by our moderator, if you have any questions, you can put to us when the time is given. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abigail. I can see you were so quick, so fast, trying to manage the time as much as you could. We appreciate that. I must say that it's a lot you have given us in such a short time. Myself, I have learned a few things, and I'm sure all those of us here have also picked a thing or two that should help us. Do you have your contact at the end of this presentation? Is it part of the slides? If it is, please show it up. Abigail, if you can show me. Otherwise, you could put on the screen any flyer that has your company contacts for those who are interested. Maybe they could capture screenshots or whatever.
Sure. At the latter part of the slide, we have. Can you see our screen? We have, so you just type Joylin Travel Consult.
Okay. Okay, so we have it on the screen.
On all the social media. Yes. So the contacts are right there. You can see or find us, Joylin Travel Consult. You can find us, and then our contact details are there. We'll also share a flyer with you so that probably you can display it at the end of the meeting. Thank you very much.
Very well. Very well. Okay. Thank you very much for this presentation. Very insightful. We are truly grateful for your time and also the information you have freely given out. At this point, we are going to entertain some questions. Abigail, you can stop the screen share so that I can pick a few questions from the box, the message box, which have come in. We have a few questions that have come in. Prof, I think there is one question you have picked from YouTube. If you are ready, you can come in with a response. And then also, there are some questions here. Yes, Prof, if you are within hearing range, let's hear you. But while you prepare to come in, somebody says, can a nurse take the Ielts UKV general test? This is in the message box. If you are in a noisy place, you can also type in the message box. Those on YouTube, please type your questions in the comments. We'll read them and respond to them here. Can a nurse take the Ielts UKVI general test? Please take note. UKVI test, whether general or academic, means you are migrating to the UK, be it to study or to work. So for what you are asking, I take it that you as a nurse, you are seeking to work in the UK. which is why you mentioned general. If that is the case, then the answer is yes. If there is any other reason, maybe you are going to the UK for further studies, then you should be looking at the UKVI academic. So please be sure about what exactly your purpose for traveling is so that you can take the right exam. It is very, very, very important. Prof, let's hear the question that came on YouTube and yes.
Yeah. Before that, let me just add something to what the question you just answered. For the UKVI general, if you want to work in the UK as a registered nurse, to be a nursing officer, you can't take the general. You have to take the academic, UKVI academic. But if you are a nurse and you want to work as a healthcare assistant or the carer, then you can take the UKVI general. So get it clear.
Prof, you have to take all that again. Portions of your presentation, we have suffered some breaks. So please take it again. I think it's very important we hear that.
Okay, what I said is this. In response to the question, whether a nurse can take the UKVI general, what I'm saying is, yes, you can take the UKVI general only if you are going to work in the UK as a healthcare assistant. You want certificate of sponsorship to work as a carer or a healthcare assistant. But then if you want to work as a nurse, a nursing officer, through what you call the NHS, work straight as a nursing officer, then you must take UKVI academic. The general will not be accepted. The academic is accepted for healthcare assistant or carers COS, certificate of sponsorship, but the general cannot be accepted for you as a nurse wanting to work as a nursing officer in the UK.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think that is clear enough.
Well, can the person come out to let us know whether it's clear to him or her?
Okay.
Yes, please.
We hope the person responds.
Okay, thank you. Then the next question is about the Ielts one skill retake. Like you've taken Ielts, which is writing, reading, speaking, and listening, and maybe you had three. You had the writing, the speaking, and you didn't have the required score for the reading. Can you take only just the reading without? For now, you need to take all four. Yeah, the Ielts one skill retake has been, introduced, but for here in Ghana, it has not been implemented yet. In some countries, it's allowed, but the condition is this: you should have taken the test, the computer delivered test. Otherwise, you can't do the Ielts one skill retake. That will permit you to focus on just the model you have failed or you have not, scored to expectation. So that is it. For the one who is asking on YouTube whether she can take the reading only, that this is the information. So we are expecting and praying that the British Council in Ghana here will introduce that Ielts one skill retake, whereby you can just take the model you didn't score to expectation. So that's all for about the Ielts one skill retake. All right. So
all right. Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Please, for those of you who are interested in the contacts of the various presenters, this is the contact for Prof. Power IELTS. Whether Obuasi or whatever, that's the contact. he is in the Ashanti region. Obuasi is one of his, he has one of his next classes there, but Kumasi properly is where he is based. So this is his contact. And then for Mr. Osei-Tutu, E2S Consult, those are his contacts on the screen. So if you want to take a screenshot or write it down or whatever, Abigail, if you have a flyer there, get ready to also put it on the screen so that they can have a look at it again. I know you put it up the second time. When I'm done with this, get a look at it, get it ready so that they can have a look at it again. So this is for Mr. Osei-Tutu, E2S Consult, his contact details and everything you need to know. And then this is details of the class I run in Accra for Ielts. If you want us to prepare you to perform in Ielts, you are free to reach out to us. And please bear in mind, the classes are physical and online. Physical and online. So wherever you are located, in Ghana or abroad, we can be of help. But one thing we must emphasize is this. There are some of you who will call and ask, please, can you write the exam for me? Let us stop that attitude and learn how to burn the midnight oil. Success is sweetest when you contributed it yourself. You contributed to it yourself. So please, get ready to pay the price. When I mean pay the price, I mean do the hard work expected of you so that when the results come, you can be proud of yourself. In Ielts, nobody can write for the other, unfortunately. Even if it was possible, I do not intend to do that for anybody. So please, do not be calling and be asking, can you write for me and all those things. Let us stop that attitude. You are moving into societies where corruption is frowned upon. If you do not begin to align yourself today, you will get there and run yourself into trouble. Abigail, in case yours is ready, please share it. If you have a flyer ready, share it. Is there any question? Any other person who has a question? We are ready to take about 1 or 2 more questions, and then we call it an evening. So if there is any question, I'm ready to allow 1 or 2 more questions, and then we can call it an evening. Yes. Any other person with a question? Okay. So Joylink Travel Consults, their details are on the. Okay. I think this is directly from their Facebook page. Yes, great. So their details are there. You can take it. Feel free, contact them anytime, and then they will be of help. After you've gotten all your travel documents, you want them to help you with the tickets. They will still be available to help you with it. And as she said, book your ticket, reserve your ticket early enough so that at least you can get it at a reasonable price. It is important. The times are not too convenient. So help yourself by taking decisions that favor you and cushion your own finances as much as possible. Okay, I think I don't know if we have any more questions. Okay, so yes, I think we've had the contacts, everything displayed. Thank you very much, Abigail. Let me quickly round off.
Let me quickly add that we are running an Abroad promo from now ending on 15th of October. I think those who joined late, you didn't see the ad displayed. So you have 5% discount when you need any assistance with us regarding studying abroad, getting admission to any program, PhD assistantship or what have you, to any country. Okay. From now to 15th December, you can contact us and then you also grab your discount. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So end the screen share. Let me round off and then we can have the promo videos play before we call it an evening. We are grateful to all of you for making time to be part of the Super Saturday event. This is, I can tell you, this is the first in a series that will be coming. We are going to have a number of them. And our aim is to ensure that we help you demystify traveling as much as possible, and then also make you convinced that out there are opportunities you can take advantage of if you are ready to go through the process that legitimately entitles you to a slot out there. That is all there is. There are no magical ways towards that. I'll play the videos shortly and then we'll round off.
Hello, are you traveling to UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or any other country to join family, work, or school? Then I welcome you to New Age Consult, where all tips in writing Ielts are given. We prepare students to pass the Ielts exams in a single sitting. We organize physical and online studies. We are at Ade Junction, along Kwashimai, Odoko Road. Call or WhatsApp us to enroll on 024 346 3343. New Age Consult, Cutting Edge Solutions.
Hello there. Are you planning to study abroad? Are you confused with the country selection? Which course to study? Oh, for career counseling, look no further. Joylink Travel Consult comes your way with the Study Abroad Promo 2023, starting from now to the 15th of December. Among our packages are the Joylink Starter Plan, Joylink Ready to Go, Joylink Exclusive Plan, Joylink Scholars Plan, Joylink Scholars Plus Plan, Joylink Scholar Premium, Joylink Scholar Premium Exclusive. Come, let's assist you to realize your dream to study abroad. Joylink Travel Consult, exploring the world with joy.
Hello, it is the Joylink Edu Abroad Promo 2023-2024. We are back again with our Cooking 5% promo until December 15th. Have you registered with us already? You want to study abroad? Bachelor's, master's, PhD, research, internship, what have you? Contact us from now to December 15th for 5% discount on all our packages. We have 7 different plans to meet your individual needs, whatever you want, from counseling on the choice of program, the country of choice where you should apply to, application on your behalf, visa assistance, ticketing, accommodation allocation, and what have you. Just contact us on 024-904-5696 and just mention Joylink Travel Consult Edu Abroad promo and catch your 5%. 024-902-5696. It is Joylink Travel Consult Limited, exploring the world with joy. Hello. Welcome back again. How are you doing? Okay, I have good news for you. That is a very big collaboration between Aqua Aviation and Professional College and Joylink Travel Consult. I guess you've been seeing the flyer around, right? Yes. Do you have aspiration to be in the aviation industry? No, not just a pilot. Do you want to serve as a cabin crew? Do you want to work as a travel consultant? Not only that, a certified one. Do you want to work as an airport operations manager? Do you want to work anywhere as baggage handling officer? Anywhere within the aviation space. This is good news for you. You know why? Because this collaboration is bridging the gap between industry and academia. We are going to give you practical training, hands-on deck experience as you join us from January 2024 through December. The training ranges from a year diploma to 2 years, and then also 6 months industry internship attached. You know why you have to join us? If you pay for one course, you get a bonus course in the addition. So you can't pay one tuition, you get 2 certificates when you graduate. Come join us from January 2024 as we take you through experience training that will render you to get job as soon as you complete. Then someone would ask that what's the qualification demanded? You can can be an SHS leaver, you can be a university graduate, a professional, a professor, professor emeritus. Everyone is qualified to apply for this aviation training. So you can just contact us on 024-902-5696 to make an inquiry. No resource is too poor to apply for an admission. Contact us and pick up your form at 300 cedis as we approach the beginning of the semester. Thank you. It is Joylink Travel Consult. We say exploring the world with joy.
At this point, I want to thank all of you, especially our team of facilitators, Mr. Osei Tutu of E2S Consult. Thank you, sir, for your time with us tonight. Mrs. Abigail Osei Owusu of Joylink Travel Consult. We are truly grateful for the insights. My brother, Daniel Obalatio, Prof. Thank you for being a part of this program. And to all of you who made time to be with us, we are grateful. If you need to prepare for Ielts and you want somebody that is tested to help you do that, you are free to contact either myself or Prof. If you want to travel, to work, to school, Abigail and Mr. Osei Tutu are within reach. Thank you once again, and may God bless us all. I wish us all a very good evening.